What tells me computers are working in the classroom is they are on task. You can hear a pin drop. I spend less time explaining things and more time teaching them how to be a directed self-learner. Because kids understand this medium, they are more willing to express what it is they know. It unlocks a whole different part of their brain.
Having the one-to-one program has really opened doors to education for not only the students but also for myself. The resources that are available, lesson plans that are available, primary sources as I teach social studies are really important. It's just been an amazing asset to have.
What I actually do with students when they're in the classroom with me hasn't changed a whole lot because it's still all about one-on-one teacher and student and interacting, human relation skills. But it's what they can do for me when they're not in the classroom with me that has made the biggest difference in my job. It's not uncommon for me to be at home on my couch at night, and if I'm checking my email or on our discussion board for our course website, they can ask their question and I can either answer it right away, or what often happens as well is that if I'm not able to get to it, one of their peers is on the discussion board and they end up with student helping student.
We use the MacBooks primarily as a tool to gather information, whether it's online. With Earth Science, we do research looking at pictures of, say, extinct animals. And in physical science and physics, we use it to collect data. We hook them up to data probes, and we gather things like temperature and pressure. We use the cameras and media to look at motion and to see how things move, projectiles, and looking at displacement.
Having technology in the classroom has allowed me to do a lot more project-based education. One of the projects is a podcast exploring safe and appropriate ways to use internet communication. Kids will each record some sort of guideline. We'll use GarageBand to do that. One thing that makes the podcast a valuable tool with my students is when they hear their own voices, they have some ownership in it. And when they see and hear themselves, they want to look good.
For the students, having the notebooks at their disposal absolutely increases the level of learning. And as a teacher, the minute you see that, the minute you see the motivation behind it, you're sold.
To have students be able to go home, turn their computer on, and access the online materials that I might have prepared for them, that's an amazing thing because of the continuity associated with what happens during the school day and what is happening at night.
The way I look at the laptops is always trying to put the curriculum first and then see how the technology can help with that. We had a first grade teacher that I work with a peer coaching program, and she had a separate technology time in her schedule. But after she saw me teaching a few lessons, she realized that she didn't have to have a separate time for technology. She was basically using that time to teach math.
When you're working with 35 kids, and those kids they're in the game, they're really wanting to learn. It's really an overwhelming task to understand what each individual is doing. And with this technology now, the use of these computers one-to-one, I'm getting this comprehensive perspective that it's really dynamic.
StudyWiz is a virtual classroom setting where teachers have the ability to develop units utilizing technology to its fullest potential. I can set up multimedia tasks for the students. I can conduct a poll. I can also set up a multiple choice or true and false quiz and have the computer grade it for me, send the results to the students and the results to me instantaneously. One-to-one computing has allowed the teachers a vehicle to discuss teaching methods, cross-curriculum activities, and actually the how-to behind the technology. So the teaching staff is in discussion more often than ever before, and I can't overstate how important it is to have that professional learning community inside the school.
I think they are a lot more independent workers. It seems as if I can't get enough for them to do. They seem to move a lot more quickly with computers. In 9th grade, we do a genre study, and that was our first genre. So we've talked about some characteristics of narratives, and we've read The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. They do an iMovie, where they take a poem and turn it into a movie. And through the iMovie, they're able to choose pictures and music to help them bring a poem to life. It really does open the doors. I can't imagine now teaching without the technology.
I've never had a problem sharing space with kids in the classroom. If I was going to get them to do things that they would like to do and give me the information that I knew that they had, I would have to work in their medium. And believe me, computers are the way they know how to work and what to do with it.
The students have access to a school-provided email account, and they use that not only to communicate with teachers but with each other. We have lots of teachers in different departments around the building that do collaborative projects where they require students to exchange material and create one collaborative document or project as their final goal.
I came from a completely PC background. I always use PCs, and I've just found that the Mac has been a lot easier to use. I can put all my grades in at home into my computer. It's just nice for me to be able to choose where I want to be when I do my planning. Just having the ability to communicate back and forth with parents has been a huge asset. I had students who weren't turning in their homework. As soon as their parents had the ability to start going in and looking at their grades online, homework started coming in.
Another software program that we're using is iCal, and basically what that is teachers create calendars that are published, students subscribe to them, and anything I write on my laptop, the students can see on their laptop. So this is a great help for homework because whatever I type in comes up on their screen, and there's no more going home and saying, I don't have any homework tonight, because the parents know they can just double click on the homework bar and see what the homework is for that night. So that's been crucial.
Foreign language students can record themselves speaking in the language and then send it to their teacher and have the teacher review it or a peer review it. We have students creating multimedia projects through iMovie, where they'll take still pictures and shoot their own video and incorporate that into a story that they tell in place of writing a traditional paper.
Without the laptops, as a teacher, it was really hard to get students to go back and rework a project and revise and edit their writing and get everything to that published, really polished stage for an audience. And with a laptop, they're excited about it. They want to go back and work on something and make it better. They see the power behind all the tools that they have there.
Teachers look for the ability to connect the students' learning with their home, with their parents, and so that those kids can come home with this real sense of accomplishment, willingness to share what they're doing, bring their parents into the loop, and this technology has done that.
Computers are going to be the thing of the future if we want our kids to know anything. They're just different kids, and we need to grow to meet their needs.
It really does change the way that you teach and the way that kids learn, and I really, think that it's something that any county, any school system, if they have the chance, they really should do it.